Great news coming out for those of you looking for raises in Social Security. A lot going on in the past week, a couple different things to cover in this video. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Now first, let's take a look at the headlines. Representative John Larson reintroduces his Social Security 2100 Act. Now you might be thinking, well, he's introduced this before. This is not new breaking news, but this week he reintroduced it for the 6th time now, putting pressure on Congress to get this done. Now, this is the legislation that has picked up traction in Congress. It includes raises for beneficiaries for the bottom line, $485 per month, across the board increases, and reform to the taxation to extend the solvency. Now, I'm going to be covering a little bit of the details in here for you, but we have heard that this is only a temporary fix, as it will only extend the solvency for about an additional 5 years, which they're saying they know because they want it to be a trial run, so that way they can test it out, see if it works, see if they can take to this new system, and then extend it out further. Now, in addition to that, we also had a new piece of legislation introduced in Congress, totally brand new, the Medicare and Social Security Fairness Act, which boosts taxes on the wealthy. So as you've heard, 2023 is the year of Social Security reform. More legislation coming out to change the taxation to extend the solvency. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What is more important if we had to pick between the two? Increasing the benefits for beneficiaries so that way they can get bigger monthly checks, raises to the benefits, or extending the solvency and making sure that the funding is available to last longer and go out further, which we've heard if it does not, there will be cuts of 20 to 25%, leaving only 75 to 80% of your benefits for you to receive. Now, maybe we could run the math on this, but just off the top of your head, let me know your thoughts. Which is more important? And they're saying that they might have to decide because it's going to be hard for them to extend the solvency and increase the benefits at the same time, as they will offset each other and will be in the same predicament. Now, in addition to that, one of the ones that they've said has addressed this, the Social Security Expansion Act. And this particular piece of legislation was introduced by Bernie Sanders. They're saying it's going to extend the solvency by 75 years by massive tax increases, and also increase the benefits that go out to recipients by $200 per month or $2,400 per year in extra benefits. Now, that's in addition to your cost of living adjustment increases, those annual COLA increases. So let me know your thoughts. Now, we've run the numbers on this, and to me, it seems like it falls short, and it is because those increases are going to be increasing the outgoes, and there's not enough incomes coming in from the taxes. In order for them to make this work, taxes would need to increase significantly. Now, let me know your thoughts, but I'm going to be covering for you the latest details that have just come out in the past week. So if you're somebody that collects Social Security, SSI, SSDI, veterans benefits, any of these fixed income benefits from the Social Security Administration, you're going to want to stick around. I'm going to share with you the latest. And if you haven't already heard, stick around to the end because the IRS has issued a major warning to millions of Americans that you do not want to miss. But let's go ahead and dive right in, get you caught up on the latest. All right, so first up, link in the description below to this article that just came out, as this is the 6th time now that John Larson has reintroduced the Social Security 2100 Act. He is really pushing this, and we're hearing it's getting traction, that this is actually a bill, a piece of legislation that President Joe Biden has backed because it aligns with his 4-point plan, which I've covered in detail for you here on the channel. If you missed that, you're going to want to check it out. But let's take a look at this really quickly. It says Representative John Larson on Wednesday of last week, he reintroduced the Social Security 2100 Act, the 6th time that he has offered this legislation. The 2100 Act would boost benefits across the board, and it would also provide targeted increases to the most vulnerable seniors. It would replace the current COLA formula with more accurate and generous CPIE, and it would repeal the wildly unpopular windfall elimination provision and government pension offset. Equally important, the Larson bill would extend the solvency of Social Security's trust fund, currently projected to become depleted in 2034 for another 32 years, according to estimates from the program's chief actuary. Now, the bill pays for expanded benefits and extended solvency by ensuring that millionaires and billionaires pay their fair share by applying the FICA to earnings above $400,000, with those extra earnings counted towards benefits at a reduced rate, closing the loophole of avoiding FICA taxes and receiving a lower rate on investment income by adding an additional 12.4% net investment income tax only for taxpayers making over $400,000 a year. Seniors across the country rely on Social Security benefits to ensure that they can retire with dignity after a lifetime of hard work. It's been 52 years since Congress has acted to enhance Social Security on their behalf, and while Republicans band together to dismantle the program, Democrats are making it clear that they are coming together to both protect and expand Social Security. Representative John Larson on July 12th of 2023 when he reintroduced this legislation. Now, as I mentioned to you, this piece of legislation is widely popular. It says Congress Larson's bill has almost 200 co-sponsors in the U.S. House. Now, Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, the chair of the Senate Budget Committee, held a hearing this week on his bill, the Medicare and Social Security Fair Share Act. Now, like Larson's legislation, Senator Whitehouse's bill that would require wages above $400,000 to be taxed for Social Security. And he said right now the cap on Social Security contributions means a tech executive making $1 million effectively stops paying into the program at the end of February, while a school teacher making far less contributes their share through every single paycheck all year, said Senator Whitehouse. Now, unlike Larson's bill, Senator Whitehouse's bill does not expand the benefits. That is why I asked what is more important, because this particular piece of legislation changes the taxation to extend the solvency, but it does not increase the beneficiaries' payouts. Now, let's take a look at the Medicare and Social Security Fair Share Act. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as I mentioned, this does not increase the benefit payouts, but it does extend the solvency by changing the taxation. And this all unfolded Wednesday of last week. As it says, lawmakers debated on Wednesday the merits of Democratic legislation, the Medicare and Social Security Fair Share Act, and this addresses both Social Security and Medicare, that would increase tax boosts financing the program. Now, the bill would apply Social Security payroll tax to wages of the self-employed and investment income above $400,000, and that is for Social Security. Now, scrolling down a little bit, you can also see where they address Medicare, as it says the bill would also increase and extend the funds for Medicare. Taxpayers with more than $250,000 in earned and investment income currently have to pay an additional 3.8% tax on income above that amount. The bill's summary explains the legislation would increase that rate to an income of $400,000 by 1.2%. Now, the bill would also require owners of pass-through businesses like hedge funds, private equity firms, and certain oil and gas companies making more than $400,000 to contribute to Medicare and Social Security on their pass-through business income. These types of businesses, according to the bill summary, can avoid Medicare taxes and the net investment income tax by disguising earned income as distributed business profits. Now, the Institute of Taxation and Economy Policies, a think tank that favors increasing tax revenue and opposes loopholes that favor the wealthy, said Tuesday in a brief that under the bill, virtually no one outside of the richest 5% of taxpayers would pay more under the proposal, and 93% of the total tax increase would be paid by the richest 1% alone in 2024. So let me know your thoughts, as this new piece of legislation that's been introduced would extend the solvency of Medicare and Social Security, but it does not address increasing benefits for recipients. Now, one of the more popular pieces of legislation that we've seen was introduced by Bernie Sanders, the Social Security Expansion Act, that would increase benefits across the board by $2,400 a year or $200 per month, making good on that former promise from President Joe Biden during his election campaign. However, we have not seen that come to fruition, and these new pieces of legislation are not necessarily addressing that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, it comes down to what is more important, extending the solvency or increasing the benefits across the board, because it seems like the two offset each other. And in order for them both to happen, tax increases would probably need to be significantly higher in order for us to extend the solvency and increase the benefits going out. Let me know your thoughts, but this is great news for those who are depending on Social Security, as there's a lot of bills coming out and a lot of stuff happening right now in Congress for Social Security. Like we've heard that 2023 was going to be the year of Social Security reform. Now, I will keep you up to date on that, but in addition to that, we also just received a warning from the IRS that millions of Americans need to be aware of. Now, to get the latest on this, be sure to check out this video right here, as I just covered it for you yesterday. Make sure that you don't miss it. Please share it, and please make sure that people are aware of what is taking place and the warnings coming out from the IRS. But you guys, that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this video was helpful, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.